Damn it, I was hoping it would wait. See, this is why we have to do the show immediately, because I'm going to fall asleep.
Well, if you fall asleep, the stream never ends. If
That's
I
true.
fall asleep, you can just kick me out or mute me.
Oh my God, you realize if I ever fall asleep on stream, the end of the world could literally be streamed?
Well, to an extent, I'd be reporting on every horrible thing going on that I can find while you're over there snoring away. And we're all panicking trying to get Lady Monkey to wake up.
This is Monkey in the Morning. I'm Monk. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
I really am. Actually, it was as soon as I set up the show, I started yawning, and I need that shit to stop quickly.
Yeah,
I got a little bit more sleep last night. Not much, but I shouldn't be tired quite yet.
I know the feeling, but you don't really get a choice in the matter.
How you doing today?
Oh, not too bad. Kind of tired for some reason. I did kind of a lot, but not anything strenuous. Just a lot of moving around, and I haven't been doing much of that because I'm pretty lazy and I have 3 broken toes, so kind of makes it difficult. But yeah, it's just putzing around, doing little stuff. Had to clean some stuff up and move stuff. And
good morning, Nuts.
Hi, Nuts. A few other random things. How about you? What have you been doing?
I did do a little bit of strenuous stuff today, but nothing major. Mostly, I just fucked with retards on Twitter.
Yeah, that's kind of your favorite pastime.
It really is, and it is amazing the amount of joy. I read one of my tweets right after I wrote it. I'm like, that sounds angry, but I wasn't angry when I was writing it. I was just making fun of someone.
Well,
which
mean,
amuses me. So I had to rewrite it and make it sound better because like that came off angry. And while I am still angry, don't get me wrong. Anger is probably going to be around for a while. It's not at any like one person, it's the situation and how it's being portrayed and stuff, which we'll get into, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I was just fucking with people on Twitter. It's what I do. Yeah. Our kitty cat today comes to us from Alyssa, and I chose him because of his coloring, which actually this doesn't do. His whole back is a gray tabby look. And when I first saw him, I thought he was a calico, and he might still be. Alyssa, does he have a little bit of orange? My eyes aren't good enough to see that. But he reminds me of my cat, Peanut. And then this pose, though, is like, oh, we got to go with that pose.
Yeah, it's adorable. You could Photoshop that into a dozen different scenarios. Make him Godzilla storming city, knocking towers over. That's just cute.
I like Phoebe lays on her back a lot, and she'll do that. She'll just turn over to one side and kind of look at you while her legs are turned the other way. And it always looks like she was in some kind of horrible car accident.
Cats don't abide by the law of nature, dude.
Yeah, my spine doesn't bend that way. Anyhow, Jack, last night we talked about Charlie Kirk and stuff, and I did not want to give the haters very much airtime, basically.
Today we'll claim it either way.
Today we're going to look at some of the haters. Now, I don't have any of the videos put up because I'm not sure that I can take that. I watched Sugar Tits video on this, and some of the shit these people are saying. Some of them are just trying so desperately hard to be edgy.
Yeah. They're trying to get attention and clout. Mm-hmm.
And those ones, I mean, I don't care if you want to be a douchebag. All you're doing is telling the whole world you're a douchebag. Cool. It's gross that that's the way you're trying to get attention, but be gross. I don't care. The one that I wanted to concentrate on is the stuff Libs of TikTok has been covering. Because these are educators. Mm-hmm. Have you seen the Libs of TikTok over the last 36 hours?
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of certain people covering stuff that they're covering educators and paramedics, firefighters, police officers, military guys that have said some vile shit. People that are in positions of authority.
Before we get to them, I do want to highlight this one just because it made me laugh.
I forgot this dude existed until Fugi sent me this clip.
So did I. He's going now by the Dusty Show. This used to be Cult of Dusty. And yeah, I honest to God thought this guy had died.
I did too. Like, I was like, is he alive still? Of course, right there, that pause game makes him look like a blow-up Santa from like 1985.
I genuinely had to look at this very closely. I'm like, because on Twitter, I said, if you told me Dusty was still alive, I would have guessed he was living in a van.
I would have thought about a dude named Dusty that I went to high school with. I'd have been like, Dusty, that dude's still alive? He did a lot of drugs, I thought. Nice guy, though. Had a cool tattoo of Wolverine on his shoulder.
Oh, no, this is Cult of Dusty. And you can tell right here that this is a green screen because the microphone disappears.
The microphone disappears. The proportions are completely wrong.
But I would not be shocked if he is actually living in a van. I'm just throwing that out there.
I wouldn't either. I would say more like under an overpass, but...
Isn't he like 40? No, he was 40 at least when I started on YouTube, and that was almost a decade ago.
Yeah, that dude's got to be older than us.
That dude's got to be pushing 60 at this point. I'm just saying, as old as he was when I started out. But anyway, Dusty just, being Dusty, trying to get any attention. And he did. He actually got something like 4,000 views for his video where he's just taking a shit on Charlie Kirk because it's the cool thing to do right now.
Yeah.
All of the edgy boys are all out there being so edgy. I just wanted to bring him up because we haven't laughed at Dusty in a long time around these parts.
Yeah, no shit. I think we covered him once or twice in the entire time I've been on here.
I don't know if I ever remember talking about him on this show. I know I have on Lords of the Night, but even by the time I was doing Lords of the Night, Dusty was one of the atheist folks.
Yeah, he's been irrelevant for a very long time. I know you and me have talked about him once or twice before, and I don't know if it was when I was on Lords of the Night guesting or when I joined the show here. So, but I have talked to you about this retard before, but it's been years, dude, like real long time ago.
Yeah, Dusty was part of the atheist crowd here on YouTube, and then the Atheist Plus thing happened where some of the morons were like, what we really need to do is be atheist and embrace feminism. And he went with the feminist folks and made a complete and total ass of himself over and over and over and over again. Anyway,
for a guy that has 250,000 subs, like he has 221,000 subscribers, he gets garbage numbers, dude.
Well, you got to realize most of his numbers come from way back when he was in the atheist. And at the time, if you're in 2012 to 2015 YouTube, you come out as a proud atheist and you were going to get an audience. It's kind of like being even mildly masculine as a lefty today. You'll get attention because that's just how these things work for some reason.
Yeah, anyway. Like his music seems to do the best for him, and even those numbers aren't what I would expect.
Wanted to move on to the actual people we're going to be talking about today, and we're going to start here with Joe. And we are still on Libs of TikTok, but Libs of TikTok tweeted out somebody else in this one, and I'll give them all credit as we get going. But this piece of shit, he's a special ed teacher. Now, I always thought special ed teacher meant a teacher who taught special ed, but as you're going to see, no, this guy's clearly retarded.
Yeah.
This is a teacher who put out on, what is this, Instagram? I don't know where these backgrounds are from. I don't know where all these, I almost said a bad word. I don't know where all these assholes hang out, so I don't know all these backgrounds and stuff. Like, this is either Instagram or Snapchat or some stupid shit like that. And Joe says, I've watched the video over and over like 50 times by now. And not the far away video, the close-up video. Love every fraction of a second of it, and it gets better with every watch. And he's talking about the shooting of Charlie Kirk.
That's pretty gross.
This is a special education teacher. If you had a kid in his class, would you feel safe with them being in there right now?
Probably not. The guy sounds a little unhinged.
He also said if they were aiming for his head, they were a terrible shot. Like that thing was huge. How do you miss? I hate to say, it kind of has a point there.
Yeah, well, we've been saying that dude had a big head for a very long time. So,
but he follows this up with, this is very fitting for the occasion, and it's Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA. This guy's a scumbag. This guy is a teacher of special needs kids. And he had no issue putting this out into the public.
Well, they don't need to pretend. There's no consequence for anything.
Some of them are finding out differently because many of the people we're going to be talking about throughout this have already been either put on leave or fired outright.
Well, that's...
Go ahead.
No, it's the left has been saying for a long time, you have free speech, but there are consequences to your speech. And they usually only mean that in one direction. But now they're starting to experience a little bit of pushback, and good, fuck them.
Thank you, tall person. 5 years ago, I would have bet against people losing their jobs for speech, even deplorable speech. After all this time of defamation and warnings of reaping the whirlwind, I only have schadenfreude. Look, I've seen this come up many times already today. People, oh, are you trying to cancel these people? These are not comparable situations. When the left was canceling people, one, it was often for saying things that are just true, like men can't become women. You're not going to ever say that. You can't have a job or anything. It wasn't for actually horrific speech. Some, sure. Most of it, no. And this is a teacher. This is a teacher who deals with special needs kids who may not be able to tell you what teacher's up to.
Yeah.
You think one of the little kids in his class, one little special needs kids, it mentions that they like Donald Trump, that he's going to treat them like everyone else? After reading this shit, I'm all for. This is why I like the people who are making the videos who are clearly just trying to be edgy and shit. I don't give a shit. If anybody wants to track them down, I think ignore them is probably the better option there. But in this case, and this is why I wanted to concentrate on what Libs of TikTok is doing. These are people in positions of power over young children. And they're saying this kind of shit without shame. There was no, hey, don't tell my boss, but he's proud of this shit. Dark Resurrect, thank you. I've been seeing the right using the cancel culture that the left started. I feel no sympathy. As we warned them, this would happen. Reap what you sow. Again, there are differences. There were times that people got canceled who were on the right, and I said, you shouldn't have said that. If you put like I work for IBM, and then you go out there and you say something really fucking horrific, and then IBM goes, you don't work for us anymore. Now, if you didn't have that in your bio, if you're just, I'm John, and this is let's do it right. I'm Steve, and this is my really shitty opinion. And then somebody tracks down where you're working, and you're a data analyst I don't give a shit. But if you're working with kids, if you're a police officer, if you're in the military, because we'll see that as well, maybe keep your horrific opinions to yourself. What I really find appalling about all this is that these people don't have any fear of sharing these thoughts. people have always, throughout time, look, I've had thoughts I know I shouldn't share.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've had lots of those.
These people don't have those thoughts. They will share everything because there are no consequences for being a shitty person on the left. Anyway, so Joe is our first contestant tonight. And I didn't save any specifically. I thought we would just straight up rip off Libs of TikTok tonight and steal all her stuff. Is that wrong?
No, I don't think she'd mind either.
We'll add context and everything to it. But if we're being honest, people send this shit to her anyway. So it's not like it's really hers, and a lot of it comes from other people. All right, this one here is a prominent doctor in Albuquerque. Let's see. I'll probably lose friends over this, but besides Trump, I can't think of a person more deserving to get just karma. You know, I've seen a lot of the left use the word karma in the last 36 hours, and they better hope like hell it's not a real thing.
No shit.
Just saying karma because you don't like somebody is not really the smartest thing to do.
Yeah, not really how that works either.
Was there another thing? So if you're looking for sympathy from me over the death of a maggot, it's between shit and syphilis in the dictionary. You're a doctor, man. Man was murdered in front of his child, you fucking dick. I have no sympathy. All right, no, don't have any sympathy. I have none for you when bad things happen to you. I believe in following through on the golden rule. Everybody says, you know, golden rule, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. And I think it would be rude for me to ignore them treating me how they want to be treated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if they're being shitty to me, clearly that's how they want to be treated.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So fuck these shitty people. This one is a council member in Wisconsin. I think it's worth to have the cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have a Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. Charlie Kirk, 2023. This is the Matt quote from yesterday.
Yeah.
And somebody says, who's Charlie Kirk? And this guy responds, a sick man who's been cut down by the very rhetoric he spewed. Hey, do you know who else thought it was worth it to take the chance on people getting shot to give us the Second Amendment? The founders. They're the ones who put it in the fucking thing.
You mean those old white men who owned slaves?
I just want to talk for a second because I watched Satsu's video right before I started the stream, and Satsu goes on a long talk about how Charlie said that some death is necessary, and he didn't need to go on as long as he did because that's not what Charlie said. Charlie didn't say some death was necessary. What he said is you can't stop all gun death, and he said the price of some people getting killed is worth the freedom that comes with it. And those are entirely different things. And Satsu makes a comparison to cars and how he doesn't mention the number, but last I saw, 43,000 people die every year in car accidents. That's way more than get killed by guns, Jack.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking about adding in suicides, and then it's comparable. But if you're talking about murders, yeah, it's way more. And the ironic thing about that is when Charlie made this comment, he started it by talking about cars and how dangerous they are, yet the value they provide is worth the fact that sometimes bad shit's going to happen. But as the left retells this story, most of them, I'll at least give this guy a fucking, what's the word? A little bit of grace because he actually quoted what Charlie said. I had an argument with an idiot today who used quotes, Jack, to say what Charlie said. and then didn't actually quote him.
That's just lazy.
Michael, thank you. Really struggling with hatred over this. How do you guys handle it? I really could use some advice. If you can't handle it, step away. But how do I handle it? I get mad about the things, I express my opinion, and I do my best to convince other people I'm right. The world is a shitty place and getting shittier by the day, and you got two choices: deal with it or leave. And leaving, I don't consider an option because that means death, Jack.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the great things in life. Sure, there's a lot of shit. But you know what, Jack? I got to have dinner with my wife tonight and hug on her and kiss on her, and we had a nice long talk about just life in general stuff. What happened to Charlie sucked, but bad shit happens, but good shit still happens too.
Yeah,
Don't
can't get
real
weighed
quick.
down
Don't
by
let the
that.
negative take over the positive. I'm sorry, Jack. You're saying?
No, I'm saying the exact same thing.
Yeah, you can't let that be it. Do what you can to fight the bad. Do what you can, but realize you're not going to stop it all. You know, to Charlie's point there with guns, realize you're not going to stop it all. There's going to be shitty people who do shitty things. It's just how the world is. Anyhow, gay. What are you, a Fuentes fan? You were with a woman. What's wrong with you?
I've touched
Anyway.
boobies before. If that makes me gay, then so be it.
Yeah, the guy I argued with, and I would pull it up, but I don't want to toot my own horn more than I already do. His argument was that Charlie Kirk had said that the guy who beat up Paul Pelosi was a patriot and a hero, which is not what Charlie Kirk said. What Charlie Kirk said is that a patriot should bail out the guy who beat up Charlie Kirk. They would be a hero of the election. But he wasn't just saying it because the guy who beat up Pelosi. It's because at the time, the rumor was going around that that guy had been Paul Pelosi's gay lover. And what Charlie was saying is somebody should bail him out so they could ask him questions to find out if that was true or not. Not because he beat Paul with, he wasn't going, he beat Paul with a hammer. We should get him out of jail. He's a great person. That's not what he was saying. But I've had so many arguments today over what Charlie Kirk said. And it's clear that people either didn't actually hear what he said or are taking what he said completely out of context. Now, I'm not going to say Charlie Kirk never said anything that I disagreed with. I've made shows about it, Jack.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about it many times.
But these people keep taking things that, if he did say them, they take them grossly out of context. Like Stephen King, that fucking weirdo. Somebody said Charlie Kirk was a decent man, and Stephen King said he called for gays to be stoned to death. No, he didn't. He didn't.
That never happened.
Real quick, thank you, FL. Seeing Shoes tweet about this, the left doesn't realize just how much this is making them look like monsters. Yeah, Shoes' original response to Charlie getting shot, well, she had 3 tweets yesterday. The first one was like, oh my God. And then the second one was, I need to walk away from the internet for a while. And then her third one was her saying she's squashing all beef she has with anybody. She does not want to be in beef with anybody anymore. And I read it and I was like, I get it. But Charlie didn't get shot because he's in beef with somebody. He got shot because there's lunatics out there who are pushing for violence and pretending they're not. Another moron who said, what was it? We're called control or responsible for this. Shit they say.
Sorry, you broke up a little bit for me there. Could you repeat that?
Yeah, I said This person said that he didn't think that people calling for gun control and less gun violence are the people responsible for Charlie getting shot. And I simply said to him that you should probably pay attention to what else they say.
Yeah.
I'm against gun violence, but he deserved it. Like what? Huh?
Real quick. Thank you, tall person. I'm sorry I missed this. And some for you, Mr. Jack. I forgot to give Monkey a holiday greeting. So you get 2. Happy National Chocolate Milkshake Day and Happy Stand Up to Cancer Day. Those are both good days. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sean. Actual Justice Warrior says, dropping a coin in the bucket for anyone not encouraging war or spreading insane conspiracy theories like Ben Shapiro being behind it because he said we should all pick up the microphone of Kirk. You know, Sean, I saw the guy who said seeing Ben Shapiro say he would take up Charlie Kirk's going to colleges, let you know what this is all about. And I'm like,
what?
Yeah, that I even asked him, I said, please elaborate. He didn't answer me. Ben Shapiro was doing the Charlie Kirk thing before Charlie Kirk.
That's one of the... Wow, these people are dumb.
Ben Shapiro had... The way many people became aware of Ben Shapiro was the Ben Shapiro owning lefties videos that were all over the internet, or all over YouTube back in, 2017?
Yeah, well, look, some of these people are really stupid and probably pretty young. But, dear God, they should be really grateful that the right wing is as restrained and pacifistic as they are. Because these people are stupid. They're not going to... I don't know how they're going to survive on their own as adults anyway, but... Oh my God, and they want to start conflict with right-wingers? Are you insane?
Faithless says Styx was pushing the Israel might be behind it thing. Did you see that Greta Van Susteren asked Benjamin Netanyahu if Israel killed Charlie Kirk?
What?
I'm not making that up. She one, even look, I don't want anybody to think Monkey's saying the Jews did it. I'm not saying that. But if they had, do you think that Benjamin Netanyahu would have went on your television show and went, yeah, we did it?
Well, let's face it. If Mossad was going to do this, it would not have been out in public. It would have been in a hotel room or somewhere like that where he's, more on his own. It's a much more controlled situation than a mob of people around him with a bunch of camera phones. That's the stupid... Do they only have experience with 2-minute warning and what was that football one? That Sunday one, Black Sunday?
Ben Shapiro Thug Life videos. Yes, look, you've been around YouTube as long as I have, so I know you know about him, Sean. Yeah, this is what he used to do. No, he killed Charlie so he could take over his shtick. No, Ben set up his own thing so he didn't have to go out and do colleges anymore because it was costing him a lot of money in security.
Oh, yeah. Ridiculous amounts.
Bullwinkle, thank you. The right will not react in riots, but do not think that we will not react. Yeah, and that's why, especially with what Libs of TikTok is doing here with these public figures. These are people in positions of power, and at the very least, I think the public should get to know who these people are. Don't go hurt them. No. If they lose their jobs, I'm not going to cry. They can say what they want to say, but like that first guy, basically masturbating over the video, that dude is in charge of special needs kids.
Yeah, it's ghoulish, and look, cancel culture, making people lose their jobs. I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm not the one involved in this. So
for me, it depends on what they said. Several of the ones that I've seen Libs of TikTok highlight, I don't think rise to the occasion of this is a ghoulish person. Others of them I've been like, I can't believe a human said that.
Yeah.
Like the dude, I've watched it 50 times. It gets better each time. You better hope karma's not real, motherfucker.
No shit.
Who else do we have here? I really probably should have picked some of these before the show. I just, especially that first guy we looked at. God damn, man. Michael, thank you. Clearly, this is to distract from Hillary's emails. Yes, yes. It is amazing the kind of conspiracies that have already started on this. Did you see the FBI's press conference today?
If you could call it that, yeah. Fucking joke.
Earlier today, very early, by the time I'd woke up today, they'd released the images of the suspected shooter. The shooter. I'm not calling him the suspected shooter. They traced his ass from the rooftop where he fired the shot.
Yeah.
So they released
assassin.
photos of the assassin, and they were quite blurry. And then they had a press conference tonight, which I tuned in, Jack. I missed it when it was live, and I saw it had happened, so I went and found it on YouTube. And the video was an hour long. Like, oh, they must have said a lot in this. And then I had to skip ahead 50 minutes.
Yeah, it was short. It was what, 9 minutes and something?
Yeah. And they provided the video of the guy running across the top of the rooftops. And then they provided some enhanced pictures of the guy. One where you could see the shirt he's wearing much more clearly.
Yeah.
Which you would think would help because it is a rather unique shirt. But this is a shirt that is apparently rather old. Even though it's a brand new looking shirt, it's a National Veterans Organization. I forget exactly. Disabled Veterans, I believe, is what it is. That they put out quite a while ago, and now it's all over the internet on resale sites.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the significance of that shirt is. Because there's got to be some kind of, like, he wanted to blend in, obviously. So he went for a patriotic shirt. But I bet he had that in storage somewhere. So I bet he's related to a vet. That doesn't seem like something you just stumble across at a thrift store.
Alex Jones is weirding me out too. Bro, posting super slow-mos of Kirk. He should have some respect. It's Alex, man. This is why I can't watch Alex. Even when I agree with him, he's Alex, and I can't take it. It's like a kid on meth.
Small doses, dude. Small doses.
Bullwinkle, thank you. When you tried to defeat a message by killing the messenger, you only spread the message. People want to believe that, but that's not always true. In a just world, it might be true, but it's not always true. And I've already seen some signs of this settling down, honestly. Because that's the way the internet works. Everybody gets very mad for a very short period of time, and then everybody just goes back to what they were doing.
Which is probably why the FBI is stalling really hard, so they don't actually have to solve this.
Oh, no, I think they desperately want to solve this. There were a ton of people who were friends with Charlie.
Yeah.
Of all the people you could have killed, you chose the one who's literally friends with the president of the United States and his entire Justice Department. Really?
I just don't have that much faith in Kash Patel, honestly, because it doesn't look like they're doing anything. They're having press conferences that add really nothing, and they're like, yeah, we got nothing. They better have something behind the scenes, or they're going to look really fucking stupid.
I disagree that they're not doing anything. I mean, short of dragnetting the entire United States and checking every they're putting out the guy's name, the guy's face, giving as much information as they have on the guy. My guess would be they're checking all of the video in the area. There's got to be hundreds of hours of it. Remember, this just happened yesterday.
Yeah, I know, but it just doesn't seem like they're. It looks disorganized to me. It doesn't look like they really. It looks like they're in panic mode, and maybe the competent people aren't stationed in Utah.
Wow, that's a name. Paracelius? Thanks so much. I think you're overestimating the agencies. I think you're underestimating him. Just saying. I would be shocked if within a week. This is going to depend on the public. Nobody knows who this guy is. It's not like he had a major presence online or put up videos of himself doing it. He's still really stupid because he left his DNA all over the place, and got himself caught on camera repeatedly. You didn't even wear a mask. It's 2025. You can get away with wearing a mask.
Yeah. Unfortunately, most of the pictures are pretty pixelated. The pictures they've released are like ones they've enhanced.
Kash Patel announcing they had a suspect in custody after the FBI already said that wasn't the guy, which confused Utah cop. No more podcasters leading to time because they didn't release that guy.
Sorry, you cut out a little bit. What'd you say?
Yeah, my fucking internet, man. Why is it doing this again tonight? Are there storms in my area? Jack, are there storms in my area?
I don't know. I'm not in your area.
I'm checking the weather channel because I really should start that. Using the satellite, this can be an issue. Remember, it took 5
in my area.
Spud Gun, thank you. Remember, it took 5 days to find Mangione. Yeah, it did. But again, that was largely due to the public coming forward.
Yeah, and I have more faith in 4chan finding this guy than the feds.
There we go. The reality of law enforcement is most of the time the crimes are solved because of the public, because the police weren't there at the time. Hopefully,
yeah, I know, but I don't know. It just looks like this is very disorganized, and they're all under a lot of pressure and stress, and they don't. When they do these pressers, they look like they're incompetent. I don't know if that's on purpose or not. It's always possible that it's designed to look like they don't really know anything. But yeah, I just don't have a lot of faith in the FBI. Look at all the stuff they haven't solved. The Vegas shooting, we got nothing on that. They keep all this shit under wraps. I'm still not convinced this isn't an FBI agent that shot Charlie, because I don't trust the fucking feds.
That dude looked like he was 15. I don't think this was a Fed organization.
No, it's just some pussy little Antifa clown.
Divine Petulance, thank you so much. Dude, tell Jack to read his Streamlabs. Also get some tweezers. What do I need tweezers for? Parasilius, let me get this real fast. Now, the agencies literally can mass scoop cell towers. They likely have advanced AI sorting algorithms. If they want someone, they will have them. Not immediately. Do you realize that there were like 1,000 people in one tiny little area, most of which had cell phones, and we don't even know this guy was carrying one?
If he had one, they already know what route he took when he arrived and when he fled. So it'd be a lot easier to single out which cell phones were in that general vicinity on that trail or path over the course of the time frame, because they do have timestamps. They got the Ring camera timestamps. They got the surveillance timestamps. They could narrow this down pretty good. Thank you, Divine Petulance. Dude, tell Monkey to pull that crazy eyebrow hair. It's grossing everybody out. Well, yeah, I can't do that. He likes that one. Named Phil.
I don't know what crazy eyebrow hair. I actually shave my eyebrows and nobody notices. So you spotted one of them. I've done that before. Completely off. Nobody can tell because my eyebrow. I'm a real blonde. My eyebrows are see-through. JW, thank you. 4chan already ID'd someone, Sky Valdez. As for law enforcement, they take so long because they need to use legal avenues. That part is true too. As for the Sky dude, isn't that the guy that they had immediately? Wasn't that his name?
No, that was somebody else. The Sky dude is the one that a lot of Reddit and 4chan people are pointing to.
Yeah, I thought it was the guy that they'd already talked about. So, they will catch this guy now. For all the talk about like cell phones and stuff, they might be able to use that later to show if he had one on him that he went to that area and stuff. But if this guy gets caught, it's most likely going to be from all the cameras in the area. That's how they found the gun.
Yeah, I think most likely somebody's going to turn him in for the reward, whether it's one of his friends who probably agrees with him or somebody that's horrified by what this guy's bragging about, because he'll probably tell somebody.
It is amazing how many people get caught, and this comes from watching like my 48 hours stuff, plus just in history in general, because they brag about it and they think they're bragging to somebody who's not going to tell, and that person immediately runs to the police.
Hey man, if there's $100,000 on the table, there's not many people I won't rat out for that. I'm sorry, I'm poor.
Well, look at Kaczynski. He got caught because his brother was like, "Fuck," and called the
he figured it out. Yeah,
he's like, "Oh my god, that's Teddy." One of my favorites though is when they go into prisons and then they confess to somebody and then they get caught from that. Like you're trusting someone you met in prison?
Yeah, you're trusting a criminal that you met in prison and you don't think they're going to sell you out for some like extra privileges or a bag of Fritos? What are you, high?
Yeah, information is the most important currency in the world, and especially in prison where there's very little other kinds of currency.
Yeah, seriously, people are dumb.
I don't know if I even care about these people anymore. Just gross people. I went to Facebook for the first time in a long time, Jack. It might have been even over a year since I was on Facebook last, but I went over there because my wife was telling me some of what family and friends were saying, and oddly enough, none of them have said anything to me after my post. I simply went over there and said, if you are in any way diminishing or celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, you're a shitty person. And I stand by that.
Yeah, this was a hideous act that was totally uncalled for.
One of them wanted people to know how much they didn't care, so they made a big post about how they didn't care.
Oh, they cared so much. I don't care this much. Here's 8 paragraphs on how little I care. Waste of time.
I don't understand that if you don't care. I know people do that with like sporting events and shit like that, and it's a ha-ha for the people who aren't fans of that stuff. Okay, kind of lame, but okay, I get it. But you decided to do that about a man being murdered in front of his wife and kid?
Yeah.
The fuck is wrong with you? Sometimes it's better to say nothing. People will get that you don't care when you don't say anything. You know, it kind of comes with the territory of not having an opinion on the matter.
Yeah.
But what is bothering me a lot with all of this is it's the media. It's the fucking media, Jack. Every goddamn time. If there's a story and you're like, what's Monkey pissed about? It's going to be the media. Because these people are just shitbags. Why do I still have Dusty on one of my screens?
That's a good question.
It was funny for the minute, but goddamn. Who was it? It was Rolling Stone. I believe it was. It was like, he was killed because he's a homophobic racist. Okay, let's say that's true. Is that worth killing somebody over?
No.
I keep seeing all of these lefties, especially in the media, telling me how radical Charlie was and how hateful he was and how divisive he was. None of them give actual examples, or as I said before, they take them completely out of context. But more than that, none of them have any inkling that other people can honestly disagree with them, that their opinions aren't right opinions no matter what.
Oh, they're on the right side of history, monkey.
Thank you, Alan. My brother-in-law's brother got caught for murder by running his mouth while drunk. That's another thing. If you get away with a crime, don't go drinking because you'll tell somebody. I've seen that many times.
Right.
Thank you, Bullwinkle. My cat is sitting on my lap, and I wonder what she will do if I say hello to Catzilla. Thank you, JW. Not going to lie, though. I'm a bit sad South Park caved because Charlie loves the episode. Oh, yeah. Apparently, they pulled the Charlie Kirk episode.
Yeah.
Which Charlie Kirk made a whole episode of his show where he laughed at it and talked about how much he loved it.
Yeah, because he knows that they do it to both sides.
And this is probably going to upset the people who think that, South Park got him killed. Cartman actually is a pretty good Charlie Kirk. They quote him directly, basically, including the actual Bible verses that Charlie uses. Clyde is the one that's up there just running his mouth like a Fuentes fuck.
Fucking Clyde.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the clips because I haven't seen that episode and I didn't pay attention to it when it happened, but somebody mentioned Charlie's video about it. And I did see when it did happen that Charlie had tweeted about it. And again, not like, fuck these people, look what they did. Instead being like, that's really fucking funny.
Yeah, Christy Nome was laughing about it too.
Comedy Central pulled it from cable re-airings. Yeah, I said did I say Trey and Matt had it pulled? I don't know who was involved in getting it pulled.
Yeah, it's probably Comedy Central forcing them to do it.
I guess it could be because they could see some backlash for it. Either way, it shouldn't have been pulled because it wasn't that offensive. And some of the mannerisms, especially when Clyde is doing it, Charlie even talks about this in his video. They nail Charlie. Him putting down the mic all the time and picking up his fucking water. I mean, they did such a good job. They clearly studied Charlie. Miles, thank you. Whoops, that scrolled up. Hey, Monk, do you think that this event will influence the midterms presidential elections? I think, I don't know about the midterms. I think it'll affect the elections this year. They're not as publicized as even the midterms are, but there are several states that have voting going on this year for their governors. And I'd be interested to see what happens in Virginia, especially. But will it carry all the way to the midterms? That's going to depend on the next couple of weeks and how this is portrayed. If the left comes to their fucking senses and realizes that optics still matter, they can survive this one with their media allies just changing the subject. Bring back the Charlie Kirk episode. It's what he would want. Yes, thank you, Michael. Absolutely. Absolutely. This, this goes to to Sean's point yesterday about the people who were like, we should go kill them too. That's not what Charlie wanted. You think Charlie would be okay with you having that opinion? How are you honoring him by being like, fuck him, we'll go kill people, even though that's not the kind of stuff he was into? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Undoomed? You want to hang out, my friend? Is the lady away? I'm his side piece, Jack. When his wife's not around, he comes and hangs out with me.
You're a side dish.
I'm a side dish. Hey, he could have done worse. I am very pretty.
Well, I hear you have very nice hair.
I do indeed. Undoomed, my friend. It's in your DMs if you want to hang out. No pressure. Chat a little bit about the craziness that's going on.
Real quick. Thank you, Alan. It says, morning, Jack. Good morning, Alan. Hope you're doing well.
Oh. I was looking for something on my timeline and I got distracted. I'm a professional. There was something else that caught my... Oh, yeah. We need to talk about this for just a minute. So I mentioned that shirt and how it was a disabled veterans group who made the shirt and sold it. You can see on some of the resale sites, they have the official insignia from those guys that comes with the packaging.
Uh-huh.
And as I was looking around, I came across this one. It says American flag shirt as seen on Charlie Kirk's shooter. Pre-owned $500. I kind of hope there's some lefty out there that buys this because you can literally get this shirt brand new, still in the package for $5 on some of the resale sites. So I'm kind of hoping there's some fucking retard out there who sees this and is like, oh my God, I can get it, and spends $500 on this. As for the person who's selling it in this manner, I hope they get that $500 and it disappears from them. I'll just leave it at that. JW, thank you. Last one, I swear. Do not swear to not donate.
Right?
Damn. What the hell, man?
Yeah, just keep donating. It's cool.
I'm not going to read it until you donate again. No, I'm just fucking with you. Last one, I swear. The left will not figure it out anytime soon. They've been operating like this with impunity since at least 2012. They think they're untouchable because they have been until now. Except for they haven't been. They got touched in 2016, and that's when they decided to lock down all social media. They knew the power of social media as they were losing control of the narrative coming out of legacy media. Look, I said it, Jack.
Yay!
But then things got fucked up for him when Elon bought Twitter. Professional monkey on YouTube still implies professional. Are you suggesting I'm not professional?
Hey, professional doesn't mean really good.
No, it doesn't. It just means that I do it pro.
You do it for money. That's all it means.
Well, I'm a Charger fan. Technically, Ryan Leaf was a pro quarterback, but Undoomed, my friend. How you doing? Uh-oh. Jack, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Uh-oh. We can't hear if you...
Undoomed.
No, I forgot to set up the mic.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, we hear you now, and you sound good. So
yeah,
cool.
How you been, my friend?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. How about you?
I no real complaints. Real quick, let me get this pumpkin trucker. Thank you. Virginia elections are definitely being affected by the Charlie Kirk thing. Look into Nick Freitas, delegate for the 13th Culpeper area. Oh boy, it's heavy. Is that the guy who made the video? Oh, I want to get this shit bag off the screen. Let's go back to my kitty cats. There we go. Yeah, there was a Undoomed. You even responded to it on Twitter. The Virginia delegate who read his thing on that he had wrote on Twitter and then responded and had. I didn't get to finish watching that video, but I really can see this affecting the.
Which tweet was that?
Oh shit! I can find it and pull it back up eventually.
No, just remind me. There was so many tweets these last days.
He's a Republican guy. I don't know if he's sitting in an office, beard, mustache, brownish white hair, and he's talking about how what happened to Charlie Kirk is not the same on both sides. That the violent rhetoric isn't the same on both sides, and he's tired of hearing about how it was and how he thought it was just rhetoric from them, and now he understands that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who basically ends with now the fight starts or something.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can definitely see it doing that. Will this carry over into 2026. I honestly don't know, guys. 2026, November 2026 is like 4 lifetimes away.
In politics, yeah.
Yeah. And on the internet, it's like 100 lifetimes away, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how long it will carry on for, but it feels different than before. The reaction has been much more intense than I've ever seen before, but you know, it could still blow over in a couple of weeks. I have no idea how people are going to react.
Well, I mean, a lot of people at least started taking a closer look at Trump after he got fired at. And now they've killed a civilian. I think that's why it's hit so hard, is because this was a civilian. I mean, they literally just murdered the guy for having different opinions.
Yeah, I mean, I think that hits different than the Trump as an assassination attempt, because I wouldn't say it comes with a job, but no one's that surprised when it happened, right?
Right.
It's yeah. I mean, not to be expected, but it's still like,
well,
okay.
It kind of is to be expected. That's why we give these guys Secret Service protections.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You don't expect it for some guy going to talk to college kids.
No, he's just some guy, right?
Yeah.
He just wants to talk to the college kids and have a little bit of a conversation. That's his only shtick.
When I try and talk to college kids, they're always like, "We've told you not to come on this campus. Put your clothes on. You can't wear just a trench coat. Blah, 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 blah."
Different kind of talking to the college folks, Jack.
Well, the kids need their education somewhere, buddy. And I have lots of cheat sheets in my trench coat.
Jack, we talk for just a second. Well, will you two both talk for just a moment?
You're not my mom. Yeah. What's going on, chat? How's it going on, dude? How you been?
Yeah, it's been pretty good, except for, you know, these weird 2 days or whatever.
It's been kind of crazy, hasn't it? All the fucking nutcases are coming out of the woodwork too.
I've never seen it like that before. It's always been, you know, a couple of here and there, but now it's just everywhere.
Yeah, it's like they can't help themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what happens when you join a death cult.
Well,
okay, sorry about that.
They're certainly not doing anything to dissuade that perception.
No doubt.
I mean, when you can even make shoe on head lose it. I mean, holy shit.
Sean, I just dropped you a link because I realized I hadn't even offered. No pressure to come on. I won't be offended if you don't, but if you do want to, it's there. Thank you, Actual Justice Warrior. 10 seconds of Steve Shive's Kurt video will remind you of how horrible the old SJWs are. Oh, nobody in this crowd needs reminded of that.
Oh my God,
no.
Steve Shives.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Is he still as toxic as
Is he still around? We covered him.
I mean, he's been popping up sometimes on my feed. I guess because I watched a video of him 25 years ago. He's always been doing Star Trek shit as far as I've seen.
I think we briefly talked about him after the Trump assassination attempt because he made a video then, if I remember.
Okay.
But other than that, the last one I saw of him was him shitting all over the Dukes of Hazzard. And you've fallen to bashing a show that ended 40 years ago.
Was it problematic or something? Or?
Yeah, of course.
Was he talking to his stuffed animals about it, like a creepy weirdo stuff?
No, not in that one. No.
Okay.
I miss the stuffed animals. What a different time. That was 100 lifetimes ago, man.
Yeah, that was a while back.
I will check it out because I have a morbid fascination with what happened to the whole Christy Winters crew.
Well, you want to know? No, you really want to know is Has his butthole lips still been moistened beyond recognition, or with age has it dried out?
He did a video on how he hates Hulk Hogan, who entertained him for 40 years. The Hulk Hogan thing was weird, man. Who was it that got shamed because they Hulk Hogan died and he did a nice thing. Thank you for the entertainment kind of post. And everybody's like, do you realize how horrible of a person he was? And they shame this dude into coming out and going, I should have never said I was sorry. He's dead.
What was it that Hulk Hogan did again?
I honestly don't know. I'm going to be honest.
Trump.
You make it sound like he murdered someone.
He was accused of being racist and I want to say homophobic, but don't quote me on that one.
Okay.
But Jack is right. It's because he came out for Trump at the RNC. That's what really they have a problem with.
Yeah, chat's telling us it was Joey Swole that guy.
Joey Swole, that's who it is, yeah. So fucking pathetic, man. It was so pathetic.
I kind of felt bad for Joey. He seems like a nice guy, but I don't think he was prepared for that kind of reaction.
No.
And that's when you tell your audience, you know what, fuck you. I know they tell you, hey, don't ever say that to your audience. Have I ever told y'all to go fuck yourselves?
You tell me that all the time.
You probably have told that, right?
The thing is, you just have to be consistent. Be consistently you. I would have more respect for somebody that I'm watching that I disagree with them and they tell me to go fuck myself than watching somebody and I disagree with them like, I should probably switch to how you think.
Yeah.
If I change your mind, by all means, do so. But the way he caved, it was just, oh my God, they're mad at me. Let him be mad. It's good for him.
Maybe that was his first time getting pushback, though. I mean, he's so popular.
Yeah, maybe.
And he never puts out anything controversial as far as I've seen. So just
dangerous ass.
Could have been his first controversy.
Dangerous ass like Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star shocked me watching that video.
Yeah, no kidding.
I haven't seen this. Is this new?
It came out earlier. Well, it's actually from yesterday, but I saw it earlier today.
No idea what that's about.
Find it. There it is. Hang on. Pop that up there. Pop that up there. Yeah, this is Jeffree Star talking about Charlie Kirk, and this was posted yesterday, so I'm assuming he either went live shortly after or like an astonishing amount of people. I didn't realize how many people were live when it happened. Because I think Joe Rogan was live when this happened.
Did you see that clip of him talking to
Charlie Sheen
when it happened?
Yeah,
that's a really good clip, actually. Damn it, Stargazer just put the links in with Undoom's stream.
I'm a hop in. Oh, by all means, do, my friend. Please do. This will be a first. I've never got to talk to him live. Well, I've talked to him. He's never got to really talk back.
Talk to Adam. Real quick. Thank you, Frosted Glass. This is basically October 7th 2.0, an indefensible slaughter, and the left shows their true colors. Bring it on, I say. Let the world see who the left really is. Plus, there could be some lefties having an "Are we the baddies?" moment like Ethan with Hassan.
The Dean Withers one, I think, is as close as we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
That was actually, I felt bad for him in that moment.
Yeah, I think he actually had a second of retrospection and a little bit of guilt, maybe. But I think most of these people are too far in the brainwashing to take any kind of hesitation to think that they're wrong.
I was just shitting on Dean a couple weeks ago because he is a shitbag. But he was live when this happened and he broke down crying.
That's because he's a bitch.
I get it, man. When I saw Charlie's daughter run to him in that clip, I didn't cry, but I could have.
That was hard.
I could have in that moment. But anyway, let's get Jeffree real quick. Undo. We're not going to watch this whole thing. It's like 4 minutes long. The beginning of it we'll give you the idea.
All right.
He encouraged everyone to speak about their beliefs, whether he believed them or not. Lexi, I don't really care. Am I a Republican? No, I'm a person. Because I'm standing up for someone that passed away, I'm now being called names in the chat. This is what's wrong with a lot of you people. You will never get far in life. You are sick in the head. Someone just said they're unsubscribing from me. Thank God, please. Because if you believe in they and thems, you're part of the problem. If you're so stupid enough to go against science, please unfollow me.
Yeah.
Okay. But what happened afterwards?
Oh, he just starts ripping into his audience, telling what bad people they are for cheering this on, and for like what he's getting into right there is the they them. He's not talking about us versus them. He's literally talking about transgender stuff. And he even says, look, no matter what you want to, you can dress however the fuck you want, but if you're born a boy, you're a boy. And he just rips into him for 4 straight minutes.
Yeah, it's actually really impressive because he's saying it's indefensible to celebrate a murder of a guy who just wanted to talk to people.
Right.
It was really surprising to watch.
Did he get a lot of backlash, or?
Oh yeah,
was it celebrated, or?
His audience was pissed. The right is celebrating this. The left, I haven't seen anybody talk about it, but I'll DM it to you and you can check it out if you want to, my friend.
Real quick, thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. In defense of Jeffrey, I know, stay with me, he actually never has been crazy like his looks would imply. He exposed Hollywood, left, started a yak farm, and has stayed consistent with who he is. I have respect for him, at least. I don't know enough about Jeffree Star, but I was actually really surprised by, first of all, I just found out he's a yak farmer, which, that's gross. That's disgusting. So I do respect that.
What the hell is that? The hell is a yak?
It's a gross creature.
Is that like a camel or something?
Yeah, it's like a camel llama thing. They're really ugly.
Yeah, I don't know how you would describe a yak. Like, it's like a sheep fucked a camel.
Yeah, it's a long-haired domesticated bovine native to the Himalayan region and Tibetan plateau. Prized for milk, meat, hair, and leather. Yeah, so picture a buffalo with a lot of hair and uglier.
Right.
But yeah, I was shocked by the video.
I've never paid attention to Jeffree Star. I just thought he was some sort of beauty guy.
Yeah, he had some controversy a while back, but I don't even know what it was, but I don't really care.
There you go. There's a yak on the screen.
Yeah, it thing's fucking hideous.
Right.
It looks like something wandered out of the dark crystal.
Yeah, kind of does.
Let's go back to kitty cats. They're cute.
Thank you, Dark Resurrect.
I've seen several people in chat now say it's not surprising from Star. I haven't paid attention to Star since he was clearly really high all the time back during his days where he was hanging out. What's that? Oh fuck, what's his name? Shane Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
My wife used to love Jeffree Star, and I couldn't fucking take it. Like, I don't want to watch this shit.
I don't think I've ever watched a video of his.
He has some interesting takes back in the day, not necessarily political takes, but just takes. And I was shocked to see, especially somebody who looks like him coming out like he did. And then there was a video from Buck Angel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Buck Angel's video, it's titled "Charlie Kirk Was My Friend." And for all of the people out there like, he's a fucking transphobe. Buck Angel, the trampa, is like, he was my friend. And it started because Charlie was willing to talk to him. Amazing how that fucking works.
Yeah.
That is almost heartwarming.
Yeah. Buck Angel gave a really good tribute to him. It was a really good video. I highly recommend watching it. Right. And you could tell he was getting a little choked up doing the video too.
Yeah.
He was obviously very distraught.
Right.
And he even says, they weren't like best friends. They didn't hang out all the time or anything, but they kept in touch. Oh, real quick, Sean, how are you, my friend? Can I call you Sean?
Yeah, for sure.
I do it all the fucking time anyway.
It's the what you call it, the handle is like a old YouTube thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Mine is too. Everybody knows my name, but they still call me Monkey, which I'm okay with.
yeah, good to be here. I'm not coming on camera. It's late at night, but
None of us.
Grammys.
The rule on my show is none of us are on camera. No one else has to be.
cool. But yeah, dark times lately. Nice to talk to you guys, though.
Yeah,
Indeed.
Yeah, nice to talk to you.
I'm gonna kiss your ass for a second, then we'll just get back to real. I've enjoyed your stuff for a long time, and it is a pleasure to finally get to speak to you in person. Guys, if you don't watch Actual Justice Warrior, go check him out. Long-winded son, bitch.
I appreciate that. I will say, I remember when you used to make YouTube videos. Like,
oh fuck, you're gonna make them start yelling at me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize this is a thing. I got in trouble with this with Sitch and Adam before because they do live streams now too. So now I feel bad.
No, don't feel bad. I wish I had the motivation still to make videos. But the reward versus the return on investment, I would just prefer to stream, turn it on. I don't have to worry about scripting. If I screw up, people are just like, "Oh, monkey," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do that in your videos, you got to clean it up and go through and fix the sound and
or you could just miss it. Like I inadvertently called Minneapolis, Minnesota like 15 times in a video recently.
Nice.
Who hasn't done that in real life?
I fixed like 5 of them, and then somebody was like, "Yeah, you messed up in the first minute," and I did it 12 times in the first 2 minutes.
Nice.
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah. People understood. What's your overall take on it, if you don't mind my asking?
On the Kirk thing?
Yeah.
So like I didn't know him personally. I met him once in like 2018. Very nice guy. Met every person. Yeah, we were both invited to the same event. Met every person in the room after he was done talking. And it was like a bunch of old people that like will talk your ear off kind of thing. I met him and I started busting his balls because he's way taller than I thought he would be. And I also made fun of him for being like too into politics. Still was super nice about it. Didn't find it off-putting. Took a photo with me. Like seemed like a really good guy. And it's a rough one because I know a lot of people that know him personally. I've worked with him for years.
Yeah, look, I've made fun of Charlie Kirk a lot on my show, but I've never hated the guy. He's never seemed like Nick Fuentes. I fucking hate that guy. He's a shitty little troll. Charlie, I just disagreed with what he said, and I make fun of people. It's what I do. I've never heard, other than the lefties who, again, don't even know what he's actually said. I've never seen anybody say bad shit about him.
Yeah.
And for somebody who's been around and has gotten as big as he's gotten, for not to be even a hint of scandal with him.
That's really impressive.
Right?
And he's been in it since he was 18 with Turning Point USA, but he was going to like events with his dad when he was like a kid. So like, he's had the time in your young years where you're super famous and like women are into you to like get into scandal, and he managed to avoid all of that.
Shit, I'm almost twice his age. I'd be coking hookers all over the place. Pictures of me motorboating chicks, and I'd be on all kinds of trouble.
Well, he's the difference from living the life you talk about and just talking about it like so many do.
Yeah.
From everything I've seen, I mean, he took his family everywhere he went. Name me another person who does that.
Mike Pence.
Fair enough. That's just so he can talk to women, though.
A real person, not a robot.
Yeah. No, it's depressing. Like you get angry looking at all the crap on social media. There's like such a lack of decency, but like you have to do the thing where you're like, it's not real life. But you were saying earlier, people on your personal like Facebook page were talking all this trash. I found the same thing on like personal social media accounts, and it's like, this is insane.
I missed all of that because my internet blinked. Sorry about that.
Jesus.
Oh, I fucking hate living in the middle of the woods.
You just caught this is insane. I was saying
No.
in the social media, like personal social media, you see people that you know from your like real life at some point in time celebrating it, and it's like, you know, I've done live events. Everybody who does live events, like this is like the greatest fear, that these lax security situations, you know, you're like something's gonna happen, and you know, there's been sketchy situations, and like to see that, like, you know, from multiple angles, and now Alex Jones slow-moing it like in the most gratuitous ways. It's like, it's horrifying for all. It should be horrifying for all of us like that do this job, but you know, of course, there's scumbags that are celebrating it.
What it is amazing to me how many people that I know personally, not nobody online or anything, just in my personal life, who are otherwise the nicest people you will ever meet. I'm talking directly to my family, if any of you shitbags are listening, who are seriously just so kind. But in this instance, they're like, well, he kind of deserved it. Like,
that's just really weird to me. Like, what did this guy ever do except try to just have a conversation? Like, what? How are you sitting there saying he deserved to die when all he wanted to do was have a conversation? He just had some opinions.
Yeah, but they're the wrong opinions, and words are dangerous. Words hurt people, and that gives them the justification, because if you're injured by words, you get those paper cuts on your soul, then you can use actual physical violence against somebody because it's defensive. Then you're defending people because he hurt you, so you can hurt him back in a different way. That's how they justify it.
The Rolling Stone article, you might as well have just quoted them. They put out this long ass tweet. Maybe was it Rolling Stone, or maybe it was Occupy Democrats. One of those two. Anyway.
Well, that just means those assholes been listening to the show, because I've been saying that's how these retards think for years.
No, I'm saying they were saying it for real though. This woman, Charlie Kirk, once called her out and put her on his hit list. Remember the Charlie Kirk hit list?
No.
It was a story for a little bit during the election, because there was a hit list. It was people that he called out and thought that they were bad people for the shit that they were pushing, and they tried to turn it into he's trying to get people killed. So this lady, they write up this long thing about how people were mean to her, and that's why Charlie deserved to die. I'm paraphrasing, but only barely.
That's gross.
I'm like, wait. She had mean things said to her, and you're actually comparing that to somebody being murdered.
Yeah. I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, it doesn't even matter if every other word he said was the N-word. He still wouldn't have deserved to die. And that's not what he said at all.
And once again, guys, this is why I'm gonna preach how much the media sucks. If you didn't know who Charlie Kirk was, if you didn't follow him, you didn't watch his stuff, and all you got was what the media tells you about him, even before he died, I would understand hating Charlie Kirk. If you never dug into what they said, like Stephen King coming out and saying, he said gay people should be stoned. It's not what he said.
Right.
He was arguing against Miss Rachel because Miss Rachel tried to use the Bible to justify LGBT crap, which I don't know if you guys have ever read the Bible. There's no way to even stretch that. The closest you could come is judge not lest ye be judged. That's as close.
There's that whole Leviticus and Deuteronomy parts.
Yeah, so Charlie reads the Leviticus 19, which does talk about stoning people. And like, see, he said to stone gay people, because he then calls it God's perfect law. Well, if you're a Christian, that's what you believe that is. He didn't say go stone people. He was just arguing and pointing out that she was misusing the Bible for her own needs. And if you actually read it, this is what it says.
Right. Actually, he was actually saying you have to be stoned to have gay sex.
Yeah.
No, you get stoned after the gay sex.
It's part of the pity spiral.
Yeah.
No, it's during, but you have to use crystal meth. That's
There
their
you
favorite.
It really makes that post-nut clarity really awesome.
Do you guys see, other than elections, like, I'm assuming most of you saw the Tectone, or at least the Asmongold videos?
Yeah, saw them both.
I have not.
I've seen like an excerpt, I think, of both from some other channel.
Okay, just to sum them up then, both of them are basically saying, what the fuck is going on? All of this hateful rhetoric coming from the left is allowed on all these social media platforms, and something needs to be cleaned up. Specifically, Twitch is the two they're talking about because they're both in that sphere. Do you think we'll see any of that? Do you think we'll see any of them cracking down and actually, and all they're asking for is them to follow their own terms of service?
Yeah, and then some unicorns will come out of
I
my
think,
butt.
yeah, I think Twitch is just beyond hope. It's too late for them. They're going to have to crash and burn.
I fear you're right. I honestly do, because with some of the shit that people have gotten away with saying, I mean,
Hassan.
not just Hassan, because like now people are trying to pat Ethan on the back. Ethan once said that they should have blown up a building because Trump and the Republicans were in there.
He did say that on YouTube, and I think he got hit for like a week or something. Like
A
back
week?
in the day. Yeah. It was the NRA, by the way. That's who he was going after.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, wasn't it a CPAC convention and the NRA was there? Or was it an NRA convention?
I think it was that NRA thing.
Yeah, I think the NRA has their national convention down in Texas.
And he's like, they should blow him up.
That seems very familiar.
Did you see the Politico article with Jenk's nephew in it?
I did. That's what I woke up to this morning, with somebody tweeting that out, and they went and asked him, like, do you feel scared now?
Yeah.
Okay,
it got worse. There were like certain parts where he was like, oh, well, this could like get out of hand. Like somebody could get hurt. Like somebody in the media could get hurt, or like a online figure, or maybe like a marginalized person. And it's like he was going to debate Charlie Kirk on September 25th.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Kirk was shot, he didn't even like wish him well. He just like did it's like a little meme where you just like state the facts. And then he was like, oh, there's been this many school shootings. This wasn't a school shooting. Like not by any way that we think of it. Like, was this a school shooting?
Oh, but it was at university. So therefore, in Hassan brain.
Well, I mean, it was an assassination.
Yeah, but it was like it just happened to be on a college campus. But this was not what we think of there. But the way he answers questions in there, it's like it's basically like Charlie Kirk didn't exist, or like time started after Charlie Kirk died, and he's like, oh, this people could get hurt. It's like, no, he already died.
Right.
Like, this is insane.
Yeah, on the screen is the screenshot of the article opening, and the title of it is, I Can't Let Fear Dictate My Life. Hassan Piker on the fallout from Charlie Kirk's killing.
Oh, Hassan, you're so brave.
This is a guy who's like, I'll go to Gaza, and then I didn't go because they couldn't guarantee my safety. In Gaza, really?
What, a war zone?
This is a guy who just can't stop filleting himself.
Yeah. But these people are like, you know what? The person we should go talk to about how things are getting too violent out there is a guy who literally said you need to go kill a senator.
2.
Did he do it twice?
He tweeted out that image of the homemade gun that the Japanese PM, the former guy, got killed with.
Right,
he tweeted that out at Senator Tom Cotton.
Yes, I forgot about that part. Yeah.
What was the other one?
That the other one was like where he's like, oh, if you really cared about Medicare fraud, then you should, Rick Scott.
Yep.
Right.
If you want to, whatever change he wanted, because he does specify what change in that clip. But he goes, yeah, you need to go, you got to kill him. And this is who they were like, we need to go talk to them about turning down the heat.
But it's like, one of my earliest my first video on Jank's nephew, he was debating Charlie Kirk at Politicon, which of course his uncle got him in because the TYT sponsors it. And Kirk was like gracious enough to do it. It's also where we get that clip where Charlie's yelling at Jank in the crowd.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I live like a capitalist every day, Jank. But yeah, that was a big thing for him at the time. And Kirk did that. And they've debated numerous times and like nothing, not even, I feel bad for his family. The only thing that you got was when he pulls up the video on stream and he's genuinely shocked.
Yeah.
But this is a guy who calls for violence all the time.
But even that seemed performative.
I agree with you. It seemed performative. I'm not doubting he was actually shocked that he was killed, but if you pay attention, at no point is he like, oh my God, his wife and kids are there. He was around Charlie enough to know that would be the thing.
Of course.
And then he immediately, I say immediately, but it's like an hour later in his show, starts going into how horrible like Asmongold is for saying that political violence is bad and we need to stop it. And then he starts going, he says that because Asmongold in his video, he's like, you guys have made this the way it is and it's going to come back at you. Be safe. And he's like, oh, he's threatening me. He pulled the same shit that Krasenstein motherfucker did.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You're threatening me. No, it wasn't a threat. It was welcome to reality, man.
That's a place he doesn't visit, dude.
And it's funny because he did this whole, they would be celebrating if it happened to me. It's like, certainly some people would, but I wouldn't because, like, first of all, just like self-preservation, like this could have happened to anybody on any side. Like this could have happened for a political reason that they hated you, or what honestly behind the scenes is way more common, where somebody really loves you.
Oh yeah.
And they become obsessed with you. So, it would not have been good to happen to anyone. And you like compare his reaction to his uncle's reaction, which was like the Jank was like about to cry over this, like, and he did 2 straight shows where he was like, absolutely, this is unacceptable behavior.
Yeah,
right. And Ethan Klein broke down in tears when he talked about it.
That Ethan one really got to me because, Ethan's being threatened not 100% by the same people, but by very similar people.
Mm-hmm.
So like you see him and his wife and they're like, oh, like, this, but for the grace of God could have been Ethan, like at any live event, which they canceled all their live events. Cause again, this is something anybody who does these public events, like this is always in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead.
I think that look, if Hassan got shot, I wouldn't celebrate.
No,
and
I mean, I hate the guy, but I would not celebrate.
And I think that
is obscene.
Over the years, when lefties have died, and I've come on here and go, "Why are you guys celebrating? That's fucking gross." If it's somebody, look, when Soleimani died, I actually cheered because fuck that, he was a terrorist who killed people. He deserved it. Charlie Kirk said things people didn't like. By the way, when Hassan does his thing yesterday, when he's watching the murder of Charlie Kirk, his immediate reaction was, this could happen to me.
Yeah.
It's always about Hassan. It's a Hassan world that he allows you to live in.
But not in any way where, he wouldn't like defame the guy.
Sure.
Like before his like family has even like buried him. Like not in any kind of like literally like just about him. Which, again, and if something were to happen to him, and I don't even want to speak it into like the world, like, as much as I make fun of Jank over the years, like, that's his nephew. Like that would be heartbreaking to see his reaction. Like his family like lives with him in his like, in his very expensive house. Like he takes care of them. Like you don't, you know, you don't wish this kind of thing. And again, it could happen to any of us, and multiple people have been confronted, got into fights. Like, you know, we watch those videos of everybody who does street interviews. Like, I've known many of them personally, and like, you know, that girl recently that got attacked. Like, any of those situations could devolve.
Right.
Yeah.
I do need to thank you, Sean, because I understand you're the one who sent Nux the video of Chank mentioning that they're all inbred.
Oh yeah.
So I cannot tell you how happy that clip made me that day. Divine, thank you. The feds will use social media to monitor the loonies. The left did it for years. Now they've created a precedent. They've cried against free speech for years. Now they might reap what they've sown. I mean, when it comes to like the canceling, many of them absolutely are at the moment. I'm not sure.
I feel no joy for that.
Me neither, because it's not how it should be. Like I said, there are a couple of the people that I started the show talking about, like that special ed teacher who's basically masturbating to the video. I have no problem with him losing his job because I don't trust him with children now.
Yeah, and I mean, I totally understand why a corporation would want to distance themselves and fire people like that. I get it. That's completely expected. But I'm not gonna be gleeful about it.
People who, like, while I disagree with them, people who were simply going, he said hateful stuff. To them, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Hateful is a subjective term. And so if that's all they're saying, I think they're wrong, but they shouldn't suffer a consequence for that other than somebody telling them they're wrong.
Right.
Look, I'm not going to have sympathy for people who like lose their jobs or anything, but I'm also not going to retweet anybody's like business and encourage like Yelp bombing or like any of this stuff that people are doing. It's especially because people get things wrong all the time. So you might recognize somebody and ID them and then find out they own a business, and then it's completely the wrong person. So I'm not doing any of that. It's, you know, all the video, I've seen a million videos that are insanely disrespectful and terrible, but like that's, yeah, I guess I'll leave that to libs of TikTok.
The reason that I'm not showing any of the videos is because I think the people doing the videos are honestly, they're just trying to be edgy and get attention. I think
you're
an asshole.
It's 50-50.
Yeah. People being look, I cannot.
I don't think you're being like just trying to be an edgelord if you're like 50 years old and you work as a professor or a lawyer or something. It's that then you're just a crazy person.
Tomato. I mean, Dangerous, thank you. Did you see people posting that clip of Charlie screaming at Chank and people saying it was Charlie using an Asian racial slur? You know the one I mean? These people are evil fucking lying. Did they think he was saying chink?
Yep.
Oh, dear God.
That's
what was he saying?
He was saying Chank, like, but he was saying it like Chank.
The way most of us have always pronounced it, Chank.
Right. Isn't that his name?
It's technically with a J, like the Turkish C in that context is a J.
Okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Jank. And the only reason I know that is because that's how Anna always pronounces it.
Jank sounds too much like a masturbation slang term. But real fast, I gotta grab this. Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. The way I think the temperature will be turned down is when the law is applied equally. Good luck with that. Start arresting those who are calling for violence on both sides. Show that there's consequences to making terroristic threats. I don't think the feds are gonna bother. They're lazy.
I hear what you're saying, but I don't think that's the actual violent threats aren't the problem. There's very few actual threats. It's the rhetoric that's used, and it's the comfortability with using that kind of rhetoric.
Yeah.
Civility is gone. I mean, the whole generation of people who are proud to be dancing on camera, cheering for a man's death, somebody they didn't know and did nothing to them.
Yeah.
By the way, my favorite mispronunciation of Jank will always be Jesse Lee Peterson calling him Keek.
Keek? I have never seen that clip. I'll have to look it up.
Oh, he's interviewing the nephew, and he asks him in the middle. He's like, "You're Keek's nephew."
I fucking love Jesse Lee Peterson, man.
Oh, I can only take Jesse in very small doses, but the man is funny. He does make me laugh.
That's brilliant.
So, how was your week going at the beginning of the week?
This is true. Yesterday was my wife's birthday. So when I woke up, I was happy, gonna, spend the day with my wife, and I went onto Twitter. One of these days I'll learn not to do that shit.
I know.
But otherwise, yeah, I've had a great week other than this crap.
First of all, Lauren Chen came back this week. The least notable news now.
Yeah, I discussed that.
If you remember, and I spent a ton of time editing a video just to get me hate, and now because I scheduled it to come out on September 11th, people think it's cover so that I don't get kirked because it's about how Israel didn't do 9/11. That's the video that I put out this morning. And even though I made it a week ago, almost all the comments are like, "Oh, he got the call from Mossad."
Like they'd call you.
But like it legitimately has nothing to do with Kirk. Like if it wasn't previously scheduled, I wouldn't have even released it. Like,
right.
I mean, a 9/11 video on 9/11. Clearly, the Jews got to you.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
Yeah, it was about Cenk and Anna pushing the Israelis did 9/11 or at least knew about it, which was amazing.
What don't the Jews know?
I went from that, by the way, earlier in the week to being like, you know what? They're one of the few lefties who condemned this in unambiguous terms. And by the way, the people who are like, I condemn gun violence are not condemning it in unambiguous terms. Like they're playing games.
Yeah. Right.
Or saying common sense gun control. This was a bolt action hunting rifle, supposedly something that none of these people want to even address. So
true.
Saying I'm against gun violence in relation to this is saying you would have been okay with it if they'd gotten stabbed.
Right.
That's the logical conclusion there. And I saw AOC do that. Senator Warren did that. And I've seen way too many people. What we need is common sense gun control.
Yeah, but
name the one that would have stopped it.
Like you say, Sean, that would have never affected this guy.
No.
Because that's a bolt action gun, and they're always talking about either handguns or assault rifles, as they call it.
And you guys
talk about handguns anymore as the magazine capacity kicked with that during the Brady stuff. So they've moved on to the AR-15s.
Yeah.
Ironically, they almost never talk about handguns because people are like, "Oh, I need a handgun." It's like that is the one. Those are the guns that kill the most people. Like that. Mm-hmm. That's the tool that is used the most because they're concealable, they're inexpensive. They almost always talk about assault rifles, but this bolt action isn't even. It's not even semi-automatic. Like it's. Which, by the way, the thing about this guy being a professional. Can we just point out that that's nonsense? Like, at least right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's a professional.
He's
got lucky.
It's not that hard of a shot from 200 yards with a decent scope and is a 30-06. That's not that difficult of a shot. You don't even have to correct for wind. He was probably aiming at Charlie's head and missed.
Yeah, you usually would aim head or heart.
Center mass, yeah.
So like the idea that, he missed where he probably intended, but obviously still hit Kirk. But but people are like, oh, well, like an amateur would have fired more. It's a bolt action rifle. Like this is a person that likely never took a human life before, never fired a shot at another human before. So the idea that he's going to stick around and do the whole thing to, the bolt action to load in another bullet and take another shot. No, he ran. Like that's what you would do. I'm just surprised he didn't leave the firearm on the roof.
Right.
But that's exactly what you would expect him to do. He got lucky that there was, 1,000 or however many people there, kind of gets to escape in the crowd. And, no professional is like, you can carry this thing in a case. Like, it looked like on the video, he was carrying it in his pants because he had like a limp on the arriving at the place and no limp after he ditched the gun.
Right.
So yeah, and by the way, Luigi Mangione was missing and the police knew who he was. They just didn't release his name, but he was not caught for like 5 days. It's been 2.
Yeah, it hasn't even been 2. We're barely 40 hours away.
Yeah,
right. The only way he takes an on survive.
Sorry, you're dropping out.
Dropping. He does this a lot.
Dropping the bass.
So somebody, I'll wait for Monkey to come back, but somebody has a good point in the chat about the distractors.
Okay.
Is Monkey back?
It'll take him a second.
Chat was going, but it wouldn't let me back in. I fucking hate my internet, man.
I was gonna say, somebody pointed out that he had the distractors. So that old guy that people have like named and shamed and said that like now apparently he's Jewish, so of course Mossad. He's like a known troll who shows up to like every event. Like I forgot they used a word and I had to look it up. It was like such an unusual word for him, but he's like known anything at that university because it's near there. He's just an old guy who shows up and like creates a problem because he likes attention. So like that guy getting arrested is not surprising, but it ended up helping.
Yeah, the guy's a kook. That's all. Yeah. He's just a random kook that wants to get attention and cause trouble and get his name in the paper. And he ended up helping the murderer here. Real quick though, thank you, Mossad. Says the check's in the mail. Thanks, fellas. You always pay on time.
The Jews owe me a shit ton of money from what I'm told.
Well, you're both a Jew and an anti-Semite at the same time, depending on who's talking to you. So
fair.
It kind of cancels out and you don't get anything.
Look, I love a good conspiracy theory as much as the next guy, but you do have to know when it's time to just say, okay, all bullshit aside, what really happened was pissed off Muslims flew into the towers.
Okay, dude.
Yeah, I love a good conspiracy theory as well, but there's like a time, place, and manner thing.
Yeah,
and and when it comes from people who were calling Kirk an Israeli shill 2 days before he got shot on Twitter, saying that he sold out his Lord to the Jews.
Yes,
and and now they're like Charlie's best friends allegedly. It's obnoxious. And when it comes from foreign agents like Ian Miles Chung, Jackson Hinkle, who is very likely being paid by someone, even though he's at least been to America, and other similar folks, like, come on, guys. Their job is to sow discord in the country.
Mm-hmm. I still do not understand how Ian Miles Chong is still a thing. That guy has weaved himself into every community at some point and then shown what a shitbag he is to that community before on to the next one.
Yeah, he's a weird little dude.
I mean, a lot of it comes from him just stealing other people's content on Twitter.
Yeah.
He had like a huge falling out with that a couple of weeks ago or something, right?
I don't follow him anymore, and I try to stay the fuck away from that guy because I don't like him.
I think it was what's his name, Alexander Papadopoulos, or he's a comic book artist.
Oh, yeah,
you know
not my
wheelhouse.
Who
I'm talking about.
I can't pronounce his name, but I know who you're talking about. George.
Yeah.
Alexopoulos or something like that.
Something like that. He's a really talented artist, and he did some sort of meme about some current event, and then Ian Miles Chong took it and put it through an AI to make it just a little bit different and uploaded it, and everyone was calling him out. And then he was like, "Fuck you guys! I'm so edgy. I'm not gonna care what you think about this. And he got ratioed all to hell by that Alexander guy.
Huh. I mean, it's what he's been doing for years. He's been called out for it many, many times.
Yeah, but I've never seen him just go, fuck you guys. I'm going to do what I want.
At this point, why wouldn't he, though? I mean, he's never suffered consequences from it.
He's only made money from it. Like,
yeah.
You know,
I guess.
Paid RT contributor, like getting all those Elon bucks, you know, which I think he left Malaysia recently, you know, but they went real far in Malaysia. I clicked on his Twitter page, and he's just posting videos, like not even like embedding, but posting videos of Charlie Kirk with his kids talking about how hard it hit him. It's like, bro, come on.
Right.
So it's really gross to stand on a dead person to get clout. That's icky.
But to get engagement for the couple $100 that like that post maximum will get for you for Twitter, like, come on.
That's blood money.
I have said for years that I would be very wealthy if I had no scruples. And that man has no scruples. He's the proof that, hey, if you don't care what people think or what your reputation is, you can go pretty far.
Sure.
I'm just tired of like the and again, they don't have to even be foreigners, but like literal foreign agents sharing all these different conspiracies. And it's like the thing about this is that everybody reacted exactly how you expected them to react. Everybody you thought would be classy was classy. I mean, I guess you guys showed Jeffree Star. I wouldn't have expected that. I would have been like guilt on face alone. But like have
you seen the Dean Withers clip? Do you know who he is?
Yeah, Destiny like Junior or Discount Destiny.
Yeah, his actually shocked me because he was distraught, like genuine distraught. He's the only one that really surprised. Dean Withers, he's this, 19-year-old kid who debates over TikTok, and he's one of the most disingenuous little shit.
Oh, okay. I think, yeah, I know.
They manufactured a new Destiny, like, and hopefully he doesn't have as many sex scandals. Like, that was the idea.
Yeah,
right.
Hopefully there's no CP on his computer.
Yeah.
But his was the only one. Jeffree Star was just because I don't know his politics, and seeing him, you'd think he would cheer, but knowing Dean Withers' thing, that one did shock me. Everyone else, you're right. Yeah, I think most of them acted exactly how I thought.
Right. So,
did you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, did you see the other one from that tour where they follow around Charlie Kirk? Because, you know, Dean Withers follows around Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
To like challenge him to debates, even though he's debated him like more than a few times, like in formal settings. But there was a girl that's in that thing too. And she called into Destiny stream and she was like, "Oh, this is really bad." And he's like, "Oh, really bad for the country because this is political violence." And she's like, "No, this is really bad for," and like is about to say for her. So Destiny legitimately hangs up on her before he's like, "Yeah, I don't want you to ruin your entire life." Like,
nice.
But like, it's like this woman quite literally is the parasite. The host has died, and like still doesn't have any sense. She like immediately decides to go for, oh, like, you know, this hurts me most affected.
Right.
Who am I going to follow now?
Well, speaking of foreign agents, you guys have probably followed this because I haven't. But whatever happened with that Lauren Chen business?
Well,
she still looks pretty hot. So
well, there's that.
Oh.
What was she an agent or not?
Was she an agent? I mean,
didn't you say you made a video about this, Sean?
I did. So here's the thing. I read the indictment, and they never indicted her. There's plausible deniability for her. Like, I don't think the evidence they presented to say that she 100% knew is definitive in the indictment. But I understand people believing that she was, because even years ago she did work at RT, but like from everything I've heard behind the scenes, like she was like genuinely like trying to tell people that the Gregorian guy was real, like way longer than it would make sense if you didn't believe it.
Or you were trying. Look, I went over this when she came back, and I agree with you that she was trying to set up plausible deniability, and that the indictment doesn't. I don't think the indictment actually paints her as a criminal, other than not registering as a agent of a foreign government. But she never asked if she was. She was just getting checks from shell companies in Turkey and the Czech Republic.
So apparently all that routing was on the back end. They just received the money, like they might not have known that. Like I always make the joke about the iPhone, the iPhone like 15 Pro Max, like the 512 gigabyte, because I'm like they couldn't even say it was a terabyte to explain that $300,000. But apparently, and this is not made clear in the indictment, like that was all on, which makes sense because like they're indicting the two Russians. That was on their end.
Yes.
Like, and we might not have seen the 100, like whatever shell companies it was routed through if you were on her end or her and her husband's end.
They would have seen that where it came from. And two of the payments were for consulting fees for an automobile company an automotive supply company that also did internet security. If she didn't know, it's because she didn't want to know.
Well, I get what you're saying, but like if that all happens before it gets her, because remember, they're theoretically laundering the money to hide from the US government that it's Russian money. So like they could route it through 100 companies and the feds could take out this explanation before it got to its, before the final destination, and then it goes to tenant after that. Like we don't know where that was in the chain.
Right.
Well, no, we do know that the payments, especially because Turkey is where the automotive company is, if I remember correctly, that money from them went directly to her roaming millennial business in Canada. That's in the indictment.
Right. You're saying she got a payment that was signed, Bubba's Auto Repair Shop?
Basically, yes. I mean, she might not understand Turkish, which would really not help her case if she goes with that. But she knows it wasn't coming from either Russia or the United States or Canada, where she is.
Or France, where the investor would be.
Or France, yeah. The wonderful Mr. Gregorian.
Look, I've said it before. I know Lauren personally, so I am biased. Like I fully admit that. But like based on the indictment, when they're like, they called the Russian firm that they were interfacing with, they called them the Russians in like private chats between each other, and they're like, that's what they called RT. And I'm like, yeah, but like if you know these people, like you wouldn't be surprised if they called any Russians the Russians. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like
no, that's fair. I just think that if it were me, or again, I think if she didn't want to know, she didn't want to know. I'm not saying that.
I think it's perfectly fair for her to expect her to come out and tell her like side of the story, like how it's set up. You know what I mean? Because like if you just like some guy was like, hey, I got a $10 million investment, and then next week you're spending that money, like that doesn't make any sense. But if this was like a long process where there were steps to verify, like one of the things that I did hear through the grapevine is that the Gregorian guy, like they said there were no Google results, but apparently there are, but in like French Google.
Okay.
That I've never heard. In those Google results though, does it just point to that sheet that they sent around?
I'm not sure, because I think that sheet was actually requested by Dave Rubin of all people.
Dave is the one who pushed to know more about him, and Lauren kept going back to the Russian number 2. I forget her name, Lena. going back to her and going, no, they want more, and that's when they came up with that. Which, by the way, that is one of the most sad attempts at a public profile I've ever seen.
Yeah, Dave. But I'm just saying, I am impressed that Dave appears to have like pressed the hardest on that, and of course done the least amount of work in order to make basically the most amount of money, along with Tim. Like, the man is a true patriot. He phoned that in like crazy, fleeced those Russians.
Because that is the American way.
Dave Rubin does a very high production show on the Rubin Report, whatever you think of him. But what he gave to Tenet was like, he's reacting to TikToks.
Okay. I don't think I've ever watched the Tenet channel.
It's still up on Rumble.
Okay.
Yeah, I got taken down here on YouTube, and all of their other social medias got nuked, which I don't understand why they would do that.
Well, if she wasn't convicted, that's kind of bad.
She wasn't even charged.
She wasn't even charged.
Right,
yeah.
She wasn't even charged, and they still did it, so that's bad.
Yeah, look, I don't think she necessarily needs to be indicted or anything. I just have questions, because one of my biggest questions is when they first float this idea to her, she tells them it's going to be expensive to get the talent they want, because they want Rubin, they want Tim Pool, they want Benny Johnson. And she's like, this is going to be, and they're like, well, we're willing to pay $1 to $2 million. And Dave comes back with, it's going to cost you at least $5 million. And they were like, yeah, we'll do that. And Lauren is like, we won't make back this money.
Yeah.
And they went ahead anyway. And that's where I would have had serious questions. And I like Lauren. I've known Lauren for a very long time. I wouldn't say we're friends, but we've been very friendly over the years. I would like an answer to why that did not set off alarm bells. She's not a stupid woman.
Yeah. So I was like, you know how when there's like investment capital into like a Vice or a BuzzFeed or any of these startups, they like pay through the nose for the maximum amount of content in order to like draw in the audience, and then they fire everybody in like 3 years. Like I always thought it was like the plan was something like that. But like, to me, it's weird that she's like, don't do this. It's not going to be profitable if it is supposed to be a Russian scam. You know what I mean? Like, if you know it's not a real business, then why are you advising them like it's a real business?
Yeah, and then that's a fair point. But there's also, I mean, that's a little timeline of it, and that's where, if you ever had questions, that's where it should have come up. And that's why I say, if she didn't know, I think she didn't want to know. So I hope that answered your question, Undo.
I know a little bit more about it now.
For the record, if anybody wants to give me a truckload of money, I know how to keep my mouth shut.
Listen, I said it in my most recent video. If she knew she was getting like scam money and like she could have hooked it up with like $500,000 for like 10 months or like $1 million, then I'm saying maybe we weren't as good as friends as we thought, you know? Like, you know, like, I'll take the reputational hit, because you know what I would have done, ironically? Those like foreign policy videos, like, you know, I do have interest. I might have like dumped them on Tenet, and I'm very not pro-Russian. So,
I don't even have a problem with the setup as long as everybody knows where it came from. If the Russians want to pay Dave Rubin to say what Dave Rubin always says, I don't care. As long as Dave Rubin tells us, hey, by the way, I did get paid by the Russians for this.
Yeah, I mean, that's why when RT was a thing, like, you at least knew that they were at RT. And look, I'll say what I said before. If Lauren used like her position of trust in like the community that she's earned, you know, over the course of a decade, because everybody has positive interactions with her and like been very helpful to everybody behind the scenes, super nice and all that. If she used that to basically, you know, annihilate the reputations of trusted people, then that's horrible, and she should serve the consequences for that. But I need more before I just throw her under the bus than like an indictment that where she's technically not charged with a crime. She was never indicted. And by the way, the way that the feds wrote that, you know, the point of not having people's names in an indictment is to like protect the people that are not named in an indictment, But
Sure.
for you to be like, this Tennessee-based media company that started on this day, and then put a link that actually says tenant.com.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Well, Merrick Garland's a piece of shit, so.
Yeah, and when she came out, her public statement, I had arguments with people. It's like, no, she answered questions. She didn't answer any questions in her public statement. But I do think she relied on the fact that Merrick Garland is a shitbag to keep people from asking more questions. I don't necessarily think, even if she's guilty of what they said she did here, I'm not sure it's a indictable offense. Reputational damage, sure, but prison, I'm not sure I agree with that.
Also,
Yeah,
like Lauren may
what
have
are
been
the
here
rules?
on a work visa, but she is not American. Like, like people were saying she betrayed America. Like she actually has problems in Canada, presumably, because they have similar sanctions against Russia. But
well, actually, her coming out and admitting that the U.S. doesn't have any charges against her can hurt her very badly in Canada, because she got away with not answering their parliament, the questions from their lower, whatever it is, their House of Commons part, because she's like, I can't answer that because there's an ongoing case in America.
Well, here's the thing. She didn't get away with that because there's no Fifth Amendment in Canada. And that was like a real crap situation, because in Canada, if you testify in Parliament in those hearings, they can't use that against you for criminal charges. But the US could have.
Yes.
So and it's not like you could take the Fifth on statements that are already out there. So she was in a bad position. And if you notice, based on her thing, they're like, we can't go back to Canada. So
yeah, because she's still, what they did to her thing there is they referred it to the upper house, and she can still face all kinds of issues there. I do like Lauren. Like I said, I've known her for a long time, and I hope she was just like, the family needs money, and this is money.
Well, she was also like well off before. Like she's made money with her content for a good amount of time. But yeah, it's a crap situation. I was more joking that like Lauren came back earlier in this week. She picked the wrong week to come back.
Hey, if this is the right week to come back, if you're Lauren, and this got her out of the news, man, nobody's talking about her anymore.
That's true.
Well, I think she wanted that because they have like expenses and whatnot, because apparently they seized their accounts. And by the way, I actually did talk to Lauren after I made my video about her coming back, because I kept saying that she made a ginger Asian baby for their second kid, and she sent me another photo where the kid's hair does not look red, and she was like, that my kid is not a ginger. Excuse you.
Oh, lucky her.
Michael, thank you. I will again mention that Matt was not paid. Who, Christensen? I still haven't watched his video to know anything about that. Go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry.
No, I think that she has suffered enough living in Quebec. I mean, if you have to get exiled somewhere, it's bad enough you're in Canada, because I'm sorry, Canada, it's barely livable up there. You get polar bears and the Yukon and all that other shit. But then to get exiled to the Frenchy part,
is that what she said?
That's evil.
Oh, the guys that are saying Matt Christensen, also a good guy, that he wasn't paid. He was paid, but not his full contract. Nobody at Tenet got their full contract because they were year-long contracts, and they rated them like 10 months in. So like he didn't get paid. And I think they rated them 2 days before payday, by the way. So everybody didn't get paid for their last month at Tenet.
Right.
Well, see,
At that point, that's pretty acceptable.
That was one of my questions I do have for Lauren, is because in her Give, Send, Go, she says that she paid labor for the last month.
Yeah, and she probably paid the last month that they worked, but the contract wasn't fulfilled, so there was 1 month left.
Well,
that they didn't get paid because everything got shut down.
No, they didn't get what Matt, from what I understand, is saying, and what I think you just said, Sean, is that the last month that they worked, they didn't get paid for.
Yeah, I believe that's what Matt says. I didn't know in the Give, Send, Go they said they paid labor up until like a certain amount of time.
She said that the way that it happened, she had to pay the expenses for them, pay their credit card bill for tenant, and that she had to pay for labor. Again, labor, that can mean anything. She didn't say she paid for talent, so maybe she was paying somebody who's an engineer there.
Maybe she paid her medical bills for having a baby because she went into labor.
No, I see right here. It says that they might have paid them later, but I know that Matt Christensen talked about it. But if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't believe, unless they were like threatened with like legal action, that they paid Tim and Dave, because that's a lot of money to get paid if your accounts are frozen.
According to the indictment, if they paid Tim, Dave, and Benny, that's 1.2 million.
Yeah. Well, was Benny making 400K too?
According to the indictment, the top three were making 400K.
How come we didn't get in on this?
Oh,
Lauren hates me.
I think Dave they didn't renew, and if I remember correctly, and they might have replaced Dave with Benny.
Oh, okay, that would make sense. And then in that case, it's still $800,000 just to pay two people.
Yeah,
and having to do that from your own account, fuck. And she said they froze most of their accounts in her, because she had the two things. She posted both the Give, Send, Go and her statement. And in the statement, she said like froze most of their accounts, or maybe it's the Give, Send, Go, so that she was still able to make some of those payments. And I'm just wondering, like, what account, like maybe it was her Canadian account she could still access. But I'm far less interested in that. And how did you not know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I mean, it's a crazy situation. It sucks because, like, you know, Lauren is people are saying Benny was there from day one. I don't think that's the case.
I'd have to read the indictment again. I mean, I just did it the other day, but I don't remember. I don't remember if it goes into when exactly creator number 3 comes along.
Yeah, you're right, because they name him number 3. But I'm like literally going through the Tenant Rumble catalog, and I don't see Benny early on. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. I think Benny came in later.
He might have even had, they set it up and like, hey, I will do this, but I have other obligations that I can't join you till March or whatever.
No,
yeah,
Benny's
don't
pretty
know.
early. I don't think Benny made as much as the other two guys. I think Benny made over $1 million for a year contract, but I don't think he made as much as them. Because like that's too much money, right?
Yeah.
Because like the budget for Tenet was 10 million, and Benny, Dave, and Tim making 4 apiece would already be 12.
Yes. Because even only going 12 months at 400,000, that's 12 million just for those 10 months.
Yeah.
And according to the indictment, the total they spent was what, 9.6, I think. So there's some weird math going on there. I don't know the behind the scenes stuff, so that part is all just speculation. Yeah. Gentlemen, I do need to wrap this up. It is 3 a.m. here, and I do want to try to get some sleep before my wife wakes up.
Right.
It's not going to happen, but I'm going to try. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out and joining us tonight. Thank you for the donations. Don't go anywhere, Sean. Some people leave before I finish. Don't do that. I have to warn people now. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop some links in the chat. As always, thank you guys so much for the tips and all the support you give us. You guys are awesome.
Undoomed, anything to show?
No, let's just be friend on Twitter.
Go be friends with him. He's a good guy. Sean, anything you want to show?
No. Other than Tenet Media. Subscribe to me on Rumble.
Fucker. Go check out Actual Justice Warrior. I'm sure everybody here knows you, so you don't need me to puff you up. Undoomed. Seriously, dude. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Jack, a pleasure as always.
Yeah, I'm always glad to be here.
Sean, a pleasure to finally talk to you, man. Anytime you want to, just let me know, and link is yours, my friend.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Guys, take care of yourselves. We love you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Hey.
Don't leave until I sing or you're a loser. That was a shitty song. That was a bad one. And we have special guests here tonight. I'm embarrassed.
You should be.
Oh.